From the PEP Radio Newsroom, this is the News Blast for this hour on September 8th, 2025. Law enforcement officials on Sunday removed a peace vigil that had stood outside the White House for more than 4 decades after President Donald Trump ordered it to be taken down as part of the clearing of homeless encampments in the nation's capital. Philipos Melaku-Bello, a volunteer who has manned the vigil for years, told the Associated Press that the park police removed it early Sunday morning. He said officials justified the removal by mislabeling the memorial as a shelter. The difference between an encampment and a vigil is that an encampment is where homeless people live, Melaku-Bello said. As you can see, I don't have a bed. I have signs, and it is covered by the First Amendment right to freedom of speech and freedom of expression. The White House confirmed the removal, telling AP in a statement that the vigil was a hazard to those visiting the White House and the surrounding areas. Taking down the vigil is the latest in a series of actions that the Trump administration has ordered as part of its federal takeover of policing in the city, which began last month. The White House has defended the intervention as needed to fulfill Trump's executive order on the beautification of D.C. Melaku-Bello said he's in touch with attorneys about what he sees as a civil rights violation. They're choosing to call a place that is not an encampment, just to fit what is Trump's agenda of removing the encampments, he said. The vigil was started in 1981 by activist William Thomas to promote nuclear disarmament and an end to global conflicts. It is believed to be the longest continuous anti-war protest in U.S. history. When Thomas died in 2009, Melaku-Bello manned the tiny tent and the banner which read, "Live by the bomb, die by the bomb," around the clock to avoid it being dismantled by authorities. The small but persistent act of protest was brought to Trump's attention during an event at the White House on Friday. Brian Glenn, a conservative correspondent for the conservative network Real America's Voice, told Trump the blue tent was an eyesore for those who come to the White House. So is he, but you don't hear us complaining. Just out front of the White House is a blue tent that originally was put there to be an anti-nuclear tent for nuclear arms, Glenn said. It's kind of morphed into more of an anti-American, sometimes anti-Trump at many times. Go figure why. Trump, who said he was not aware of it, told his staff, take it down today, right now. Melaku-Bello said that Glenn spread misinformation when he told the president that the tent had rats and could be a national security risk because people hide weapons there. No weapons were found, he told the Associated Press. He said that it was rat-infested. Not a single rat came out as they took down the cinder blocks. However, the rats, for those of you that are watching this on YouTube, live in the White House immediately behind the fencing and all the signs. That's where the rat actually lives. There's a bunch of them in there. One of them, by the way, happens to be named Stephen Miller. That's News Blast for this hour. If you like watching our news videos on YouTube, please be sure to subscribe to our channel. PEP Radio is now available on Roku, the Live 365 app, the PEP Radio page at paequality.com, and Alexa. Up next, we have the Meadville area weather forecast right here on PEP Radio.